Okay, welcome to this short video clip. We are looking at simplifying expressions involving division. We've looked at multiplication in another video. We're now looking at division. First thing you will notice is that in algebra we don't write the division sign like we don't write the multiplication sign. Instead we use the fraction line. Okay, so we write every division as a fraction. And the way we're going to sort through this is we're going to treat the numbers and the letters separately. Okay, so let's just go through 3 examples of how to simplify expressions. Okay, so we're going to do it by cancelling down. So I'm going to start with the numbers first. I'm always going to start with the numbers. Okay, so I've got 12 divided by 2. Well, that's 6. Okay, so that 12, I'm going to divide them both by 2, so that becomes a 6, that becomes a 1. Okay, now I can look at my letters. Now I've got an x on the top and an x on the bottom, so x divided by x, well that's 1, so let's cancel that, that becomes a 1, and that becomes a 1. Now remember, this is all multiplication, x times 6 times y. So this becomes 6 times 1 times y at the top. Well, 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times y is 6y. Now underneath, it's become 1 times 1. 6y over 1 is my answer. But anything over 1, well, that's just itself. So my final answer is just 6y. Okay? Now, I suppose you could do all of that without writing in all the cancellations, but I just wanted to put that in just to show you how it all works. Okay, so 12 divided by 2, well that's 6. X divided by x, well they cancel each other out. Okay, so there are no more x's. And the y, well that's got nothing to cancel out, so it's 6y. Okay, the next one, this is now we've got some x squareds involved. Okay, but again, I'm going to look at the numbers first. Okay, so 8 divided by 12. Well, is there a number I can divide both of those by? Yes, I could divide both of them by 4. If I did that, okay, if I did that, I would get 2 at the top, and I would get 3 at the bottom, so that becomes a 2, that becomes a 3. X divided by x squared. Now this is, remember, x squared is x times x, so that would cancel and become a 1. X squared, well that would just become x. Okay, so I get rid of the squared, it would just become x, and that y would stay where it is because there's no y's at the top either, so it becomes 2 over 3xy. I'm just going to tidy that fraction up a little bit, so it's 2 over 3xy, and that's my final answer. Okay, 8 divided by 12, we cancel it down, we'll simplify that fraction. Okay, divide both of them by 4, so we get 2 over 3. X divided by x squared, well the x's will cancel each other out. Okay, so I've got 1x at the top, I've got 2 x's at the bottom because it's x times x. So 1x at the top gets cancelled, 1x at the bottom gets cancelled. The y leaves on its own because there are no y's. Okay, and just to show you that in this last example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this out in full. So what this is it is 28x x y z z z z, because z to the power 4 at the top. Now remember, there is no multiplication sign in algebra, so I've just written them next to each other. On the bottom, 35 x y y y y z z. Okay, just to show you how this is going to cancel down. Okay, numbers first. So 28 divided by 35. Well, I'm going to divide both by 7 because they both appear in the 7 times table. So 28 divided by 7 is 4, so that becomes a 4. That becomes 5. Right, now I'll do this in a different coloured pen so you can see. I'll do it in red. In fact, I will do it in brown, just for those people who might be colourblind. So x on the top and x on the bottom. So one's going to cancel each other out. Perfect. Right. Y's. There's a y on the top and there's y's on the bottom. Cancel each other out. Z's. 1, 2. Okay, I can't cancel anything else out. And now all that's left for me to do is write down what I have left. 4 x times x is x squared. No y's at the top. And 2 z's, so z squared at the top. And underneath, 5, no x's, y cubed, and no z's. So my final answer is 4x squared z squared divided by 5y cubed. Okay, so if it really helps, write it all out, cross things out, okay, and then just count what you've got left.